G'day guys, kia ora, goeiedag, my name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildkard Rugby Show. Like, comment and subscribe. And yes, it is my pleasure and privilege to talk about the greatest sport in the world, rugby. And yes, you are here today because one of the most important, most coveted, most highly desired trophy in the entire world of rugby, and that is the Freedom Cup, is on the line this weekend in Cape Town. And the South Africans have one hand on the trophy. And since this is only a two-test series, yeah, the All Blacks can potentially win this by just winning the second test and take the cup out of the hands of the South Africans for another year. Yeah, so I do think that this law should be changed. I think that these games, especially if there's only two test matches being played, in the draw series, you should go down to point difference. So the All Blacks needs to close out on the point difference to actually retain the cup. I think that makes the game a little bit more exciting, and also it removes the issue where if the All Blacks win the first game, they already retain the cup for another year, right? So that then kind of removes that dead rubber situation for the second test. And this is also for the Bloodstock Cup. I've been talking about this quite a bit. I think that'll be a much, much better way to go about it and talk about, making more money. This will be an easy way to make some more money, making both test matches highly, highly anticipated instead of just one in the case of the All Blacks winning the first test. Now, I have done a bit of update on my website. A lot of you guys have given me a lot of new ideas, so I've added a results page. You can click on that. No spoilers still on this website. You can be sure to check in whenever you want to see all the players. There will never be spoilers on my website, but I have added the option for you to see the spoilers here. And also, you'll be able to see the players' profile now from their official website by clicking on their photo as well. So it takes you to there to see their biography. All the stats has been taken out from the official websites of the Springboks and the All Blacks. So if there's any errors, some of you guys have pointed out there was some errors. If there are some errors, it's because the stats are actually incorrect from the official websites. And just so you know, the Springboks website seems to be down. I guess there's still on dial-up, and somebody's calling the mum right now, and you actually can't go onto the Springbok player page because it's down. So it's not my fault if you can't access the Springbok player profile, because the service is sometimes down because someone making a phone call. So anyway, so don't blame me on that, just to be warned. But please check in, guys, and let me know any other things you wanted to change to see on this website. Plenty of games on here for everybody to check out as well. And with that being said, let's talk about the big match this weekend. The Freedom Cup is on the line. Last time the Springbok has won the Freedom Cup was in 2009. Yeah, not as long as the Bloodstock Cup, which was won in 2002. I was only 35 years of age back then, right? So now this is obviously the 2009 one was a 3-test series as well. So the Springboks had that bit of an advantage to be able to win 2 games at home to close that one out. And recently, there's only going to be, in fact, going forward, it's going to be a 2-test series. Maybe they talk about the Springbok and All Blacks tour in 2026, and that will be a 3-test series. So hopefully the Springboks can win that one, 2 out of 3. But it's looking pretty tough, especially when there's only 2 tests. Like in 2022, the All Blacks just had to win 1 out of the 2 tests to retain the Freedom Cup. So it is the same situation this weekend. And good luck. Good luck, all of you South Africans. Hopefully your braai is not going to be spoiled for the weekend. And going into this game, there is some good news, I guess, for the if you want to say for the South Africans. 2 big names injured from the All Blacks team last week. 2 top performers in the last week's game. Winger Caleb Clark hurt his back, not able to play this weekend. He was so powerful, scored 2 tries last game. The flanker Ethan Blackadder, absolute huge work rate. Third line jumping options as well for the All Blacks, out to a hamstring injury. So 2 big names out, and it's going to be a little bit tough for the All Blacks. For the Springboks as well, they do have 1 injury. That is Curly Adensa. And the Sia Khaleesi has been cleared to play, and Rassie Erasmus has delayed the team announcement because he was not sure whether or not Sia was clear. And last week, because of the Eben Etzebeth late addition, people were not happy. Israel Dag was not happy. So Rassie has decided to name the team after he's confirmed that Sia Khaleesi is completely. I guess also Sia Khaleesi is quite an important player for the Springboks, as he is the captain. He wanted to make sure that, you know, the captain is ready to play before announcing the team officially, because he doesn't want to name a captain and then replace the captain, right, 2 days before the kickoff. That's not really good for the team, to the whole team cohesion either. So yeah, the referee this weekend, the most important man on the field, will be Matthew Carley from England. He is, yeah, he's I think he's definitely got to be better since the Rugby World Cup days. I watched him in Six Nations, a little bit better in that regards from his performances from 2023 Rugby World Cup. But yeah, I think that for as an English referee, yeah, I don't know, this is gonna be a bit 50-50. I think maybe it gives a bit of advantage to the All Blacks. Let me know your thoughts on the referee selection there, Matthew Carley. The weather, always sunny in South Africa. Of course, there will be no cloud when rugby is played. It's legally not allowed to have a overcast during a rugby match. You can have overcast every other day of the week, except the one that the rugby game is played. So it will be sunny and beautiful in the beautiful town of Cape Town, by the beach. So that'll be really, really nice for everybody attending this game. It's still not up. So yeah, South African rugby. Yes, yeah, just get off the phone, mate. Just get off the phone and let people access the website, please. Anyway, let's talk about the lineup. Let's talk about the ins and outs of the game. This is a really, really big game this weekend. Some changes, big changes for both teams, and I think Rassie Erasmus has made the big, kind of like going back to a more conservative setup for the Springboks team. The bench is the 5-3 setup for the Springboks, and maybe due to injuries, maybe due to the way that they want to try out some new combinations, but the Springboks has fallen back to a very traditional setup with 100 Pollard at 10. To maybe try to close this game out in more of a traditional fashion, back to the bread and butter that the Springboks are used to in a very important game with the Freedom Cups on the line. The All Blacks had to make a few changes as well due to injuries, and and also obviously the bench was a big issue for the All Blacks last week. I mean, you had a 10-point lead, and losing 10 points in 10 minutes in the last 10 minutes of the game is not really an issue with the referee or anything. It's your own bench not able to deliver. So the All Blacks have loaded up the bench a little bit and shifting some of that core starting players like Beauden Barrett onto the bench for that big finishing, the bomb squad sort of finishing move for the All Blacks. So Jeff Wilson actually talked about in the breakdown this week or last weekend, maybe to consider a 6-2 bench split for the All Blacks. I was hoping that maybe they will do that this week because of, you know, how good it is for the Springboks, and because the fact that the All Blacks lacked a bit of power off the bench. But no, they're still stuck to the 5-3 setup. They just decided to add more experience onto the bench as their way of fixing that problem. So yes, let's have a look at who are the men that have been given the pleasure and privilege to represent the country in the monumental clash for the Freedom Cup. So coming in first, unchanged for both front rowers, Ox Nche coming in at number 1, Bungi Bunambi coming in number 2, and Franz Maherba comes in at number 3. Tamani Williams coming number 1 for the All Blacks, Cody Taylor number 2, and Tyrell Lomax coming in at number 3. I think the big battle last week, there was a lot of clap scrum for both these teams, and especially down on the Tamani Williams battle between Franz Maherba. It does look like Maherba is putting a lot of pressure on Williams, and he is collapsing that scrum under the pressure. The referee kind of let it go last week. May or may not be the case this week with Matthew Carley from England. He might be a little bit more clinical in that scrummaging regard. Oh, I think the Springbok website is up. Yeah, it's up. Yeah, good. Someone's hanging up the phone. So anyway, with that being said, I do think that once again this week will be that side. I would like to see that maybe Ox Nche get a bit more on Tyrell Lomax. I do think so he has a tiny bit of edge there over Tyrell Lomax. I wonder if he's going to get a little bit more out of him after a bit of adjustment this week. So yeah, that is another key area to look at. Without Ethan de Groot, the scrummaging definitely favours the Springboks in that regard there. Coming in the locks position now, Ibn Esbeth retains the number 4 jersey, and Ruan Nokia retains that number 5 jersey. Nokia was really good last week, surprisingly good. He looked like a 100 test cap veteran out there last week. I was actually quite impressed by just how smooth, how good he was last week on the field. He kind of reminded me of maybe what's his name, Matfield on the field with the hair and with the flowy hair sort of thing. But I thought he was really, really smooth. He looked very, very good last week. Scotty Barrett and Tupavai retained the number 4 and 5 jersey. Obviously, The most important battle for this weekend, once again, is the loose forwards. Sia Khaleesi comes in number 6, and we've got Pieter-Steph du Toit, number 7, and Jasper Wiese, number 8. Rassie Erasmus has talked about Pieter-Steph will be moving to lock, potentially in the second half, as that additional, finisher sort of setup, because he did play lock last week ahead of Eben. So that'll be the move to look out for in the second half. Sia Khaleesi, number 6, in the open side flanker position. And Jasper Wiese was really, really good again as well. Physical last week for the Springboks. Wallace Satiti has been added to number 6 jersey. Wallace does play number 8 for the Chiefs. But yeah, he's just a really good ball handling skill. Someone that opens up the game with that, ability to offload post contact. It's quite dangerous given the opportunity. Sam Kang retains number 7 jersey and number 8 Adi Savia. This battle is so crucial for the All Blacks this weekend because the breakdown was an absolute mess last week. All Blacks conceded 14 penalties or something to the Springboks 5. I mean, how can you win a test match when conceding that many penalties? Is beyond my comprehensions. But yeah, and a lot of those penalties came in from the breakdowns, and it was almost like the All Blacks was just, wasn't sure. Like maybe they need a bit more, did a bit more homework on the referees on how they like to call the breakdowns, because it did look like the South Africans knew what the referees were expecting, and the All Blacks did not have any idea what the referees were talking about at the breakdown. So hopefully there's going to be adjustment this week for the All Blacks to win that battle there. In the backline now, there's some big changes for both teams. So Grant Williams has earned, I think this might be his first start for the Springboks. No, not the first start. I think sure he's got a start before, right? But Grant Williams earned it, getting a start position here, at least in the big match. The first time I think he started in the big match. I'm pretty sure he started before in the past. Coming in number 9, next to the big boy himself, Hendrik Pollard returns to the 10 jersey. He's playing quite a bit of 12, coming off the bench just to cover for injury, showing a bit of a versatility. But yeah, coming number 10 for Hendrik Pollard, big boot. Grant Williams will be, I guess, Hendrik Pollard's a bit slower, so Grant Williams will be bringing a lot of that speed, and there's something that Grant Williams likes to do, is take the ball and take on the gangline, around the back of the rack and just run into the gangline and then set up something for their teammates. Very, very dangerous around the park with that move. And for the All Blacks, 9-10 combination, Cortez Radama gets caught up into the number 9 jersey, and Damian McKenzie, number 10. The experienced TJ Perenara has moved down to the bench. I always felt TJ is a better player off the bench, to be honest. I thought his performances has been a bit shaky against England, but he did look a lot better last week in the starting position. And but overall, I do think that TJ, with his energy, with that speed, and the way he likes to operate, he's just a little bit better off the bench overall. He was penalized last week with mouthing off on the referee, so yeah, maybe he'll learn that lesson. I do think that that's been a plaguing issue for him, even in Super Rugby. A lot of you guys on the comments has talked about how he likes to talk a bit too much in Super Rugby as well. So yeah, David McKenzie, he's going to be leaving without a assistant in the form of Beauden Barrett this week, and I think this is I talked about in my news report. I think that this is a very, very risky selection for the All Blacks, having Damian McKenzie and Will Jordan, the two players have never played before, as a 9 as a 10 and 15 combination, at least for any meaningful time. There was an opportunity in the second test at Eden Park when they could have put Damian McKenzie and Will Jordan as a 10 and 15 combination, but for some reason the coaches decided to put Beauden Barrett and Will Jordan combination for that second half of the test match when the All Blacks clearly already had the game won. So that was an opportunity that was missed. So yeah, this is basically the first time the two players will be working together. I just don't know. And the two styles are very different. Will Jordan has a very different style with Beauden Barrett. And Will Jordan is not a playmaker like Beauden Barrett was. Will Jordan is a counter-attacker, a great kicker, an excellent play under the high ball. More of a Apaleta Farsi style. But, yeah, so this, we did see that Damian McKenzie struggling without Beauden Barrett's assistant against England. So, yeah, the wheel could be falling off this week. And, I don't know, this is a big question mark in my books for the All Blacks selection there. Coming to number 11, Cheslin Kobe, who bumped up Scotty Barrett last week. Mark Talea calls up into number 11 after, Caleb Clark being ruled out. In the center combinations now, Damien Dale Lender, number 12, Jesse Krill, number 13. Both of them have slightly better defensives than Jordie Barrett and Riku Ioane. Jordie Barrett actually did really good last week. 7 tackles and 0 missed tackles. Riku Ioane, though, tackle count wasn't great. I think he missed 3 tackles missed and two tackles made, so less than 50% completion rate. Jesse Creel missed a few tackles as well, but definitely above 50. I think Jesse Creel was on like a 60% or something. Still better than Rico. So yeah, I do think that Rico's carry game, running game has improved a little bit since, you know, the start of the season, and since Super Rugby he has been out of form a little bit. But again, I think the reason that Rico is at 13 is because they wanted more impact off the bench with Anton Lennon-Brown coming out. Damon DeLender, Jesse Creel, yeah, defensively I think have the edge, but in terms of the attack, I would say, yeah, maybe still have a little bit of edge as well with Jesse Creel slightly ahead of Rico Ioane, currently in form. In the number 14 jersey, Kanan Moody gets caught in to the injured Curdy Alensa, who suffered a concussion, and Seville Reese returns to number 14 jersey. Seville Reese was absolutely brilliant for the Crusaders and has not showed that level of success in the national jersey so far this year. So looking for a big performance this week. And finally, Willie LaRue, the veteran, returns to number 15 jersey as the second playmaker. Interesting setup here once again for the Springboks. I thought for sure they would put Sasha at 15 and have Vidi coming off the bench, but I think they wanted to Sasha maybe get a bit of a break for you know, he's been playing consistently for 3 rounds now, maybe a bit of break there, and have Vili back in the veteran boot. And just because it's such a huge game, maybe just want the emotions to be controlled for the first half of the game. And Will Jordan, we're going to talk about, will be coming in at number 15. A pretty big difference in styles here. Willie LaRue is more of a kicking type of guy, whereas Will Jordan is more of a counter-attack style here. Coming in the back line now, the bomb squad has been reduced to just your normal style of rugby with 5-3 setup for the Springboks. Malcolm Marx returns number 16 jersey. Gerga Steenekamp comes in number 17, and Vincent Koch comes in at number 18. For the All Blacks now, Osafa Almoa, number 16. Ofa Tuanga Fassi, number 17, and Fletcher Newell, number 18. I am a little bit disappointed. I've talked about in my news report of the All Blacks front rower. These 3 guys were much better in Super Rugby, and they just have not delivered in the big stages in Test Rugby. Osafa Almoa, one of the highest run meter in Super Rugby, yeah, hasn't delivered that. Ofa Tuanga Fassi, one of the best scrummaging in Super Rugby as well, have not delivered that. And Fletcher Newell as well, one of the highest, if not the highest work rate defensively, and also one of the most dominant scrummages as well, have not seen any of these guys, not just against Springboks, just really haven't really delivered even against Argentina in previous rounds. So yeah, I really want to see a bigger performance out of these 3 guys, especially, you know, considering the Springbok setup has pretty much had the number in the past weekend. Huaga Smith, the Huaga Smith burger, comes in number 19. Sam Darry gets the number 19 jersey for the All Blacks. Al Reich Low gets in at number 20 for the Springboks, and Luke Jacobson will be coming in for the All Blacks. So the Springboks has opted for 2 loose forwards coming off the bench, with Peter Septutoy moving to the locking position. Something Rasi calls this like a pseudo 6-2 setup, with Peter Septutoy being able to move to lock, and he's really fit. So the All Blacks have opted for a more traditional lock and a loose forward on the bench. In the back reserves now, we've got Jaden Hendrickson returning to the team. Really good to see that. And TJ Piranaro, the veteran, going down to the bench. Sasha Fangbo Kungomezulu will be coming off the bench at number 22 jersey. Antoine Lennon-Brown will be coming at number 22 for the for the All Blacks. And finally, the Springboks have opted for a additional center in the form of Lukamio I guess Lukamio could cover winger as well, so bit of a versatility there, just in case there was injury to the winger. I think that's probably the reason why they have a 6-2 setup, because of the injury cover. Yeah, just in case if one of the centers get injured, they just don't have anyone to cover, right? They have to. I guess they could have Henry Pollard move to center, and and also I guess you have to decide the alternative. Rassi Erasmus did talk about the alternative. Someone was really close, was Samar Morat. Could be on the bench as an additional forward, but in that situation, is that better option than having Lukamio Arm? You kind of have to judge the 50-50 decision there, and I think that, you know, as an impact player, I think Lukamio Arm will bring more of an impact to the backline than Saman Morad will bring as a bomb squad forward. I think that's probably the ultimate decision here, deciding where the Springboks have landed on the setup. And for the All Whites, a clear emphasis is experience. And just having Beauden Barrett coming off the bench, maybe he will be able to do what he did against England, where he basically single-handed turned the game around. And the big concern is, if the gap is too big, then no matter what Beauden does, it might not be enough to bring them out of the trouble. Yeah, especially with a team like the Springboks, when they have the chokehold on you, they're just not going to let you go. Anyway, my prediction for this game, I think the Springboks will win this one, to be honest. I think that there might be a little bit too much of pressure over time, but I don't think the score is going to be that high with 100 Pollard, and probably more of a very traditional style setup. So I think the scoreboard might be pretty close. I would say 15 points to 12 to the Springboks winning this one. Yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching this video. Check out my website, and yeah, have a good one, guys. Hopefully you have a good week, and see you guys this weekend. Cheers.